Greetings, my name is Chris Ford, and this is my 3-minute presentation in defense of my thesis from American Military University. Behind me, you will see two board games. On the right side is probably recognizable. It's the game of chess. Of course, the objective of chess is to defeat your opponent by capturing the king. This is done in a series of direct engagements and very tactical strategies. On the left side of the screen is the Chinese game of Wei Qi. Whereas chess is very direct, Wei Qi is more indirect, with the objective being to encircle your opponent with your colored stones and achieving more points in them. Over the course of the next 2 minutes, I'd like you to keep these two games in mind as sort of an analogy for how the United States and China have approached energy, and specifically renewable energies. Currently, the previous research involving renewable energies has been centered around the technological aspects as well as the environmental impacts. There's been a gap in the research and study on policy and which kind of policies influences development. So my research decided to take a look at China as the example of how policy has produced some pretty dramatic effects. So I looked at 6 renewable energies. I'll highlight solar and wind being probably the most dramatic increases. For instance, solar capacity in 2009 increased 147%. And then remarkably, China maintained that meteoric rise with 204% the next year, 116%, and 164%, effectively doubling capacity, or more than doubling capacity, for consecutive years. Simply remarkable. So I want to look at what sort of policy drivers force that kind of capability increase. And I came up with 3 general areas. Strategic policy, so the overarching direction of the country, of the nation. And these were usually found in China's 5-year plans. That was supported by regulatory policy. In other words, establishing that we will meet 500 megawatts of installed capacity by the end of the year. So those kind of milestones and requirements. And that was also followed up by fiscal policies, so taxes and tariffs and incentives that really helped to bring everything together. When those 3 policy areas aligned, it was a dramatic and really effective result. So what does this mean for the United States? Well, the United States, as of this year, will become a net exporter of energy for the first time in 70 years, which is fantastic. But it would behoove the United States to simultaneously develop renewable energy alongside fracking and our fossil fuel focus in order to maintain national energy security beyond 2050 and into the future. If we don't do that, we may very well find ourselves master chess players coming into the end of a Wei Qi game.